All right, I'm here at the Two Cousins Swap Meet and Vintage Sled Show in, well, essentially in Somerset, Wisconsin. All right, let's start here at the show. Check this out. It's a Thunderjet. It says it's a 1975. That's pretty cool. Real cool. Those are desirable race sleds. Here we got a Yamaha with a Rotax in it. That's not bad. I bet that thing's quick. I think we saw this one up at the Twin Ports maybe. How about a Survivor SRX? That's really cool. So this one also says Survivor on the 6500 plus RV. These, Greg has let me drive one of his RVs, and I will tell you, they're a fun sled to ride. They're quick, they're light, they're super cool. All right, this one we're gonna come back to later with Rick. Rick owns this, and there's a really good story behind this we're gonna talk about.
Oh my God.
All right, I'm here with Rick, with my friend Rick. Tommy's been telling me, Rick's bringing Mercadoo. You got to interview Rick, and you got to get the hood. And then Rick walks in and goes, I brought Tommy's hood. I'll never put it together that it's this Rick. Known him for a bit.
Yeah, I've known Tommy for probably 20, 25 years. From the Greg Underdalls. And yeah, I've known him forever.
And you got a bit of Tommy's history here with you today. Let's talk about this. So what Rick brought is the Mercadoo 2, which was the first race sled Tommy ever built. And I believe Tommy set his first NSSR record on this sled. Right. I could be wrong. Tommy will correct me. So Rick, how did you get a hold of the Mercadoo?
Well, I was talking to a guy named Ken, and he said I told him I was into the snow twisters, and he said that he had a Mercadoo, and the only Mercadoo I knew was the one that Tommy was running for Marlin Engler.
Yeah. So
I said, well, is it for sale? And he said, yeah. So I went over there and looked at it, and sure enough, it was this hood with the Engler hood on it, but it had like a 440, 437 Skidoo motor in it.
Okay.
And it was leaking water, and it didn't run. So I found a Mach 1 that had this 583.
Yeah.
And the motor was done by Karpik.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Karpik motor, wow.
It's a Karpik motor, and it had the crankshaft pipes. So I bought the Mach 1, and then so I put this motor in this chassis.
Yeah.
And originally, supposedly this chassis was down at Kawasaki, the Snow Twister chassis, and they had a Kawasaki motor in it.
Really?
So I don't know if it was a Snow Pro motor or what they had in it. And then it ended up in Marlin Englert's hands. And he handed it off to Tommy, and he says, do what you got to do to it. And I think he ran a 250, supposedly like a Snow Pro motor in it.
Yeah,
I think Lee Fredrickson ended up with the Snow Pro motor, but
okay.
I think Tommy ran a 250 and he ran 340 in this chassis. Tommy lowered the chain case and all that. So,
well, Rick, I'll tell you something else you may or may not know about this sled, but this is most certainly a Rick Bates gas tank.
Right.
Rick Bates being very famous around the Forest Lake area for R&R racing, but that's one of Rick Bates' early gas tanks.
Yeah, for sure.
So, very cool.
And they use this side for the slide lube.
Yes, that's how I recognized it, that it was a Bates tank. Yeah. Wow, you got a real piece of history here,
And
Rick.
then supposedly that seat, there's a rumor that was a Kawasaki Shark seat.
It might be.
You don't see any Snow Twister seats with that.
No, we'll have to ask one of the Shark experts on that. Either my buddy Greg, we call him Sprocket, or maybe Brad Warning would know.
Yeah.
But wow, that is a real piece of history if that's a Shark seat. I don't know enough about Kawasaki's, but I believe it. This is awesome,
Yeah,
Rick.
my buddy was an R&D at Kawasaki in Shakopee.
Okay.
Bob Nimchek was his name, so he was in the two-cycle R&D back in the late 60s and early 80s when I knew him. So, and then that hood, I think Tommy did some of that hood, and then if you see, I don't know if you saw the names on the side.
Let's take a look. The names.
It's got
okay.
TK Engineering, which I think was Tommy Dahlbeck.
Yeah. I think
Tim,
you're right.
Tim Dahlbeck. I think this is Tim and Kim.
Yeah, Tim and Kim Dahlbeck.
And then Russ Peterson, he was in my sedan delivery club. He was a painter and was into cars. He passed away a couple years ago.
I think Russ came up with that Record Breaker Blue.
But all of Englert's sleds had this color combination. Yeah. They all were the same.
Record Breaker Blue, really cool. You know Russ?
I know Tommy Zeller and Marlon Engler.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
We'll have to talk later.
Yeah, Marlon was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I went up for that. Yeah.
That sled should be right there with it.
Yeah.
But, you remember, you get Englert and Jorgensen, and you used to go watch those guys on Forest Lake,
yeah.
And Englert had one in every class.
Yeah.
Tommy ran the little ones.
Tommy ran most of them. That's how he's the guy that set the most records.
He'd jump on one, go to the other,
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as there was some free beer available, he was there.
That's Tommy. So this is super funny because, Tommy's been talking about this Mercadoo for years. Can you get my screen to come back? He's been talking about this Mercadoo for years, and he made it sound like it's way out in the middle of Wisconsin or something. I think it's probably 5 miles from my house.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And funny Tommy's story. Been trying to get this hood for probably 15 years. I said, someday, Tom, I'll bring this hood and you can have it, because it really has no meaning to me, but it has a lot of history, and Tommy Zeller was the driver on it. So today, he deserves it.
Today's the day. We're bringing the hood home for Tommy. We think he's going to probably hang it in his Econo bar for a while, and then it'll probably go up to the Hall of Fame to the Englert display.
Oh, you think so?
I'm sure it will probably.
Who has the Englert sleds?
Well, the Englert sleds are on the Warning Museum, but there's also the Marlon Englert corner in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So I'm sure eventually it'll go with one or the other up there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
really.
It deserves to go somewhere besides my top of my garage somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
It really, no meaning to me, but it's a lot of history to it, I
Well,
think.
it'd be nice to put it in the Englert corner at the hall.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see. It's Tommy's. Tommy will figure it out. He'll do whatever whenever he does it. But,
for sure.
Cool. Thanks, Rick. Thanks for the stories.
No problem.
So we got this Charger 500 here. Cool. Love it when the fins come through the hood. How about a 68, what's this? TX 500. Well, let's walk around back and check out the motor. Oh, you can't even hardly see the motor in there, but it looks like it's a sock single. That's interesting. I wonder why it's a TX 500 with the sock single. That might require more research. We got a Grand Prix made by Boatel, Mora, Minnesota area. Super cool. We got a farm tractor Massey Ferguson sled here. SS 250 Colt 75 and an Electra right next to it. Matching. I'm going to guess these are the same guy that owns these two sleds because the paint, the pinstripes, everything matches. 72 Mustang, fan cooled. You can tell on the 72s because if they're free air, this panel isn't here and the motor sticks out through the hood. Got a little TNT there. 340 Snowjet, really cool. Nice chaparral, getting shined up. Very cool. You wanna tell us about your sled? Yes, sir, what's your?
Got a 1970 Chaparral Firebird 493. Fully rebuilt engine in it, runs great, ride it still. That's part of the fun, right?
What kind of, what motors it got in it?
It's got a Hearth.
It's a Hearth 493?
Yep.
Super cool. Did you do the restoration yourself?
I did not. I did the engine rebuild on it.
Okay, your sled is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Cool, thanks for showing it to us.
Thank you.
All right, back to the show. Had to say hi to a bunch of people, which is really, that's why I come here. So we got a 72 Cheetah. She is mint, very mint. 69 Mustang, very cool. So this hood piece, you unscrew that and it pops up. And, that's because the hood latches are actually down in here. So you have to open up that, reach in and unlatch the front of the hood to take the hood off on a 69 Polaris. Flying Swedes of Scandia, super cool. Puma. Don't want to say that wrong. If you say Puma, then the Puma people come out at you and Not happy. All right, beautiful rear engine, big red K90, Kohler engine in that. Thundercat, 94 Thundercat. I bet that thing hauls the mail. A range whip, seldom seen. This one's for sale for 550 bucks. And no, please don't try to ask me how to get in contact with the guy. I'm not doing that. But this is a beautiful sled. How about this restored 82 Indy 500? This was the sled of my dreams when I was a child. Just beautiful. Formula 3, that'd be a triple 600 with exhaust valves. Cool sled. Filming you, filming me. Now you're on YouTube.
Yeah, there you go.
XLT Special, beautiful. That's a 94. I really love these. How about an 86 LE? Early snow check sled. Absolutely beautiful. Love to have one of those someday. Can't own them all though. 79 Centurion. I used to have an 80. They haul the mail, but that triple's a little heavy on the nose of a leaf spring sled. Nice little 340 Enticer. That's pretty cool. How about the Vikings? Says it's a Survivor, and I believe it. There's a little bit of fade to the metal flake on the hood, but man, that is a nice, clean sled. I mean, I buy that this is a Survivor. Look at the seat. It's got some minor blemishes on it, which that will happen. But what an incredible sled to have survived that long. Looks like it's a wide track, too. Very cool sled. Very, very cool. How about this Suzuki? Says it's a Survivor. Could be. It's really nice. Antique Survivor Scorpion. Once again, it's got just enough of the blemishes to make me believe it's a Survivor. Really cool. This GPX, that thing's really nice. Skidoo Elan. It's an Elan SS, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that makes it a twin. I love Skidoo Elans. Those are great sleds. Skeeter, yeah, something for you OMC guys. Definitely has had a recovered seat on that, you can tell. 69 Panther, very cool, very cool. It says powered by Kohler. Can we see what motor it is? Not very easily. Oh, that is a 4-stroke Kohler. Cool, cool. A ski horse, very cool. What is this? An Esky motor, a teeny Esky motor. I have seen these before. It's almost a kid sled. It is so little, but that's a cool sled. That's a cool sled. How about this Ward's? Electric start with a 4-stroke. And got a little bit of a lawnmower tank, but you know what? Whatever it takes to make it so you can ride it, right? It's way better to ride it than to lug it around. Of course, Polaris made that for Ward's.
50-50 raffle.
Skidoo Oli, those are always good sleds. And another Panther. Man, they made a lot of Panthers, and you always see a lot at shows, but you know, they were a great sled for their day. All right, we got a 1974 Raider 44T. So cool sled. It's got this little painting on the front. That's very cool. Chuck Sign Company, it says. You can see these Raiders were a little different with the twin track, and you sat down in them. Really significant thing to me is it uses the same drive wheels as a Skedaddler XX. So probably part of why you get Skedaddler XX drivers. Got a big ZL Articat here. Cool. Beautiful TX. Beautiful. Chief, it says. Never forget 9/11/01. All right, this thing's wild. Give you a little look. She's a Wankel. She's a 303 Sox Wankel. Beautiful, polished, little links, it says on the back. Absolutely cool. Oh, it's got a turbo on it. I think we've showed this at a show before. Very cool. Let's get you around here and give you a better look at the turbo. Yeah, that's awesome. Heck of a project. Very cool.
your setup is different than
We got a
everyone. So like
big giant Polaris here, rear engine, up on a trailer, so it seems even bigger than it is. What's this? It's a Model T Custom. That's pretty wild. I'm not sure what many of those parts are. It says Wisconsin on the engine. All right, this is Mike's creation here. It's an RV with IFS. How about an Illumadoo? It's got a Pathfinder sticker on it. We're going to show you a flyer for the Pathfinder's January 1st ride in a bit, but pretty cool. Got a 79 TXL here with the hood up. Everybody's having a look. What do we got going? TXL motor, but liquid brakes and a top loader chain case. Really cool.
Thank you.
Is that yours, Bob?
I told you that.
Swap meet, Bob. Oh, you want to get interviewed, Bob? Sure. All right. All right, I'm here with my buddy Swap Meet Bob, and he's got a 79 TXL in the show. Bob, this is a little unusual. Usually you're swapper.
I do both.
You do both?
Turn your knob to Bob.
Well, I didn't know you did shows. Tell me about this TXL.
Well, it's set up for racing, and motor's brand new. It's tight, and it's got studs, and it's got an inch.
I see you got some Fox shocks on the skis.
Front and back, and in the back.
Yeah. Oh, and the skid too.
Yep.
So those are just 8-inch IFS shocks, to my knowledge. They work fine on these skis. Well, show me what you got going under the hood, Bob.
All right, we can do that.
You got a red handlebar cover going on here. Okay.
And got a P85 clutch.
You got a brand new P85?
Yeah, and a secondary off of an 02.
Okay.
Helix, adjustable.
Yep. You got liquid brakes?
Yep, and chain case off an XCR for racing.
Yep.
Hold up for it.
You got the dipstick on there?
Yep.
Have you ridden it yet, Bob?
Yes, I have.
Does it rip?
It rips pretty good, but the skis are hard to keep on the ground.
That's what these 340s are known for.
Yes, it is. But I also put new gas lines on it, and like I say, that chain case was a project, but I got her done.
Oh, they just bolt in. Come on.
I got her done.
All right. Cool, Bob. Thanks for showing it to us.
You betcha.
All right. Right here next to Bob, we got a little Andy. That's pretty awesome. We must be in the kids sled section because we're coming up on a kitty cat. And then Rick's got this Dolphin, and we're going to talk to Rick later about that Mercadoo that Tommy Zeller built many years ago. Rick owns it now. Starcraft Swinger. Very cool. Another kitty cat. Another Moto Ski Mini. Super cool. Now we're back to big sleds. That's a Zephyr. That'll be an old tunnel mount with, what's it got for a motor? Oh, she's got a hearth in her. She's got a hearth. And we got a toboggan behind it, and it's parked right next to a Panther with a cat cutter. Super cool. Nice displays. This must be Cutter Row. Matching sleds and cutters. We got a Suzuki 360, which is a really kind of a cool sled with the Suzuki cutter behind it. And you can't really see this because he's got the cover on the motor, but that's a Case Reed sled. Even though it's a single carb, that's Case Reed all the way back in the early 70s. So super cool. So Suzuki had a little something they didn't even give to Articat there. Of course, this is before the Suzuki Articat era. We got another little Elan. Always like to see those. And the Elan's got the matching cutter, of course, and a Panther with the matching cat cutter. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Next row, we got a Storm. I always love to see these. So that's a 93. So that's a real early Storm. Triple. Would have been a 750 in 93 if my memory is correct. All right, Thundercat 1000, liquid cooled Case Reed triple. Those haul the mail. All right, we got an XC700. The hood is missing all the decals, but these are awesome. This is basically what Lonnie's sled's gonna end up being when we get done with it. Got a 98 Ultra wedge hood. Still wedges available in the late 90s, like 98. Super cool sled. She's got an extra 12 on her, it says on the tunnel. Snow Traveler Polaris. Mustang, says it's a 65. Let's get around here and see what kind of motor we got in this. Oh, tucked way in there. That's a tiny little J-Lo. I bet that's a 252 J-Lo. I could be wrong though. All right, we got a Matoski here. It's a Zephyr. I saw that it's got a BSE engine in it. Really cool. Got a little 300 Yami here. Got a Skidoo Stratus. These are kind of interesting. The shocks and springs are under the hood on that chassis. Here's some creativity. It's an old, leaf spring GPX 433 that somebody adapted the later pogo stick Yamaha front suspension onto. Interesting. Here's an XC600. It's another wedge Polaris. It's got an extra 10 and a 600 Liberty twin, I believe. All right, first year skedaddler. These are some interesting sleds, these old brown skedaddlers. That's like all fiberglass, like a fiberglass tunnel, and you can see there's like a steel frame in there. So that's pretty wild. Those running boards are steel though. I suppose they wouldn't hold up if they were fiberglass, but like a steel space frame with a tunnel in there. JLO engine, it says, poking right out there. Teeny tiny little, looks like an HR or HL carburetor on this thing. And look at the jumbo size backrest. These are pretty wild. These are very different from the kind of skedaddlers I own. Really cool though. Really cool. All right, we got a Rampage. That'd be an opposed twin Johnson. We got a Herder's Husky. There's a guy that always complains, there's never Herders in your videos. There you go. Here's your Herders. I hope you didn't miss it. Here's your Herders. I know you watch all my videos, so I hope you're enjoying seeing this. We'll do a little extra walk around since I know at least one person wanted to see this Herders. Look at that seat. That's got to be an original seat. Nobody could reproduce the pattern. She's got a rear gas tank. What do we got going on? We got a Kohler motor. She's a later axial fan Kohler in it. The Golden Goose. I think that might be the model, but I'm not sure. But that's really cool. It says it's a 1972 Herders there. We got an Alpine, big twin track Skidoo, and look at his wheel kit on the front. I bet that helps a lot when you're moving around on grass. Let's see, what do we got here? We got a real early RXL. I mean, if the paint and everything's accurate, that would be, I'm not even sure what year, but that was like right at the introduction of the RXL. And it's sitting next to another fuel-injected Polaris, the 500 SP EFI. So similar to an Indy 500, but with fuel injection, of course. Really cool, really cool. Valdi, tell me about the Eskimotor Teeny. I don't know anything about this.
I've got a good teeny story here. Let me put my beer down.
Hold
I
my
had
beer
one of
and
these
listen.
in my possession simply because a seller dropped it off. Let's wait.
We're going to let Myron fire up his Yamaha over there.
Down at a show and it was like 20 below.
Yeah?
I love that
It's
comment
like the
name
second
on that
hole.
belt.
But the throttle's froze because the cable goes all the way back.
Yeah.
So I get behind it and I start running the throttle mechanism manually, and I'm kind of trotting along. Oh, I wonder how fast this baby goes. So I yank it wide open. I fall down face first in the snow, and Tim looks back laughing at me.
He was running along with it.
That thing face planted you?
Yeah, it was way too fast for me.
Good for you.
It doesn't look like a face planter.
Well, when you're bundled up for 20 below weather, it's hard to run very fast.
Cool. Thanks.
Not gonna.
I'm going to tell Tommy you chipped his hood. I'm going to tell Tommy you chipped his hood. We're having a good time here, folks.
Yeah,
it's all good.
All right, here's my teeny story. A fellow the seller dropped it off at my place, and it was going to be a bit of time before the buyer would show up. And when he unloaded it, I said, "Just leave it in my driveway. I'm gonna have some fun with this thing." And this is a classic rear engine machine. Believe it or not, made in Ohio, Youngstown, Ohio.
Really?
But with these units, this part here is called the traction unit, and it's got the motor and all of the drivetrain. The front end is extremely light. That's it. So I take it for a drive, and I'm going around my yard, and the throttle sticks, and I'm heading for my pole barn. The throttle sticks.
This is a recurring theme. This is the second stuck throttle on a teeny story I've heard today.
Really? So I'm heading for my pole barn thinking, now what am I going to do? So I reach back and grab the spark plug, and it was like a cartoon. You could see my bones. So that wasn't going to work, right? So I go like this and I hit a glancing blow. My pole barn has a dent in it from this thing careening off there. That's it. I cut her off. And what you have to do is put some angle iron on the bottom of these skis to get any kind of, steering motion, because otherwise it'll go straight ahead.
It's way beyond carbide. It's like 1.5 inch angle iron.
I'm talking angle iron here. Anyway, my teeny story.
Cool. Thanks, Valdy. Here we go. Check out this Flame Thundercat. I've seen this sled around. I really like the flame job on it. Really cool. We got this 76 Nitro. I love this body style. I think these are some of the most beautiful sleds. These and the Magnums are some of the most beautiful sleds they ever made. And according to what I've heard, they're fast. Oh yeah, and these fins on the bumper, that's part of the cooling system. We got a little Yankee 40 up here. That thing's beautiful. Got an XLT SP. He's got some kind of wrap over his springs, but it should have Fox shocks on it under there. We got an Indy 400. Real nice. All right, we got a 92 RXL. These are my favorite RXLs. I love them. I love the color. I love the graphics. That's my favorite year. Beautiful. Got a 90, it says 89 Indy 650 here. Could have fooled me, but I don't know everything. But that's really cool. Nice sled. And we've got an 88 650. I like the color and the graphics on that one. That's a nice sled. That's real nice. All right, we got a 97 RXL and it's purple. I like that. That's a great year for an RXL. That's really cool. I like that he's got the SLPs on it, the SLP ultralight skis. In fact, come to think of it, so do a few of these other sleds. Lots of SLP ultralights parked over here. So super cool. Really cool 90s little retro throwback with those skis on these sleds. And what do we got here? We got a 98 SRX 600. Cool sled. Fast. And we got another Arctic Panther 440 with quite the cutter on it. Panther's pretty cool, but look at this cutter. It almost looks like some kind of a boat or something. I'm sure it's not, but very aerodynamic. Says it's a 2000 custom cutter. They must have made that out of something. Maybe it was a jet ski. I don't know what it was. Pretty wild. You tell me, what'd they make that cutter out of? Leave a comment. I've never seen anything quite like that. Kind of resembles a jet ski, but I'm not really sure. All right, I want to come back and do another walk around on this beautiful 1982 Indy 500. Just a beautiful restoration. Really wish the owner was here to give him an interview about it, but man, I love this sled. You guys know I have the next year, I have the Indy 600, but this was my dream sled when I was a kid. Just absolutely beautiful. Everything. I mean, these badges, they faded so fast. He must have found NOS badges, the decals, the paint. Everything's perfect. Peeking under the hood, he's got the right plating on all the bolts. He's got all the plating on all the suspension bolts. What a beautiful restoration. Just awesome. All right, Valdi was trying to set me up with the owner of this Sabre for an interview, and we don't know if it'll happen, but look at this thing. This is unique. Valdi, is this related to a Northway? It's like a Northway? It looks like a Northway. So it's got like a fiberglass pan, a fiberglass hood. It's very Northway shaped. Check out these skis with the unique rod and the square toe loop. Pretty wild. Very cool. It's a 340T apparently is the model. All right, so back to the Sabre. It's a 340T. She's wide. Look at how wide that track is. It's got a Sabre mud flap. I mean, that's like a tooled piece. Look at the seat. You see that logo embedded? It's got the big wide handlebars. We got some tags on it. He's got the whole known history of this thing. This is pretty wild. What motor is this in here? It looks like, I think that's a Rockwell twin, an axial fan Rockwell twin under there. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, let's get some video of the book.
CCW right there, J-Lo engine.
It says J-Lo, it says Rockwell on the recoil.
Yeah, what's interesting is the hood fold backwards.
Not the traditional CCW.
Yeah. You want to flip it, Dennis? They sure look like Northways, don't they?
Well, it said Northway on it, yeah.
Recreatives Inc. Okay, he did a nice resto on it, and that's clearly a J-Lo. All right. All right. All right, there's the seat. Is that the seat coming out of a bag like it's new old stock?
Looks like it, yeah.
That's incredible. It's the J-Lo, just like you'd think.
340.
Yeah, yep. Painted with that padded dash.
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool. That's really
In the
cool.
kitchen.
Yeah, did it in his house. In an original factory cover.
That's it.
All right, I hope the owner turns up so we can get an interview on this thing. But if not, well, there you go.
Cram them in there.
Somebody commented on one of my recent videos about me picking up a sled with one hand. You just watch Valdi pick up that Spitfire at the back end with one hand while he's drinking a beer. Come on. Check out this Scorpion. Is that a Mark II or a Mark III?
One.
It's a 1? No, it's at least a Mark II. It's a Mark II. She's got a little sock single on her. 69. That's a good find. Somebody could go right into one-lug sled racing with that thing.
It's all rebuilt.
Motor's rebuilt? Nice. Nice. We got a TK over here. I used to trail ride one of these. These are 79. Yeah, these are great sleds. I love them.
Motors in a bin.
Motors in a bin, he says. All right. Cool. Hi, Greg.
Hey, how you doing?
Here's Greg. Greg puts on the show now.
Great. Yeah, it's the easy thing to do, let me tell you.
All right, check out this Edge. 600 Classic with electric start and reverse. It's got some miles on it, but the price is right. Get yourself a pogo stick if you're into that, too. Colt 340 SS for sale. Pretty cool. Got an Olympic over there with it. Blizzard and a Silver Bullet. Cool stuff. Lots of sleds for sale today. SS Yamaha and a 68 Polaris Mustang on this trailer. Couple kitty cats. Cheetah. What's the other one? Another cheetah probably. Some gold rails, but highly modified. More swap stuff. He's still unloading the trailer. Got a bunch of tracks in there. How about this cool, I don't know if that's a watercross or grass drag or what, that you can see they got the skis mounted right to the spindles. She's all slammed down. Oh, she's a watercrosser, all right. Pretty cool. I think that's an Ultra motor. They got the hood latch, so I'm not going to open it up, but yeah, 96 XCR 600 it says on the CDI. I'll just walk in the trailer and check out this ditch pickle. Scarul RS 440. Those are cool looking sleds. I've always liked those. Pretty cool. Got a Sox 440 under the hood. Got some more stuff in here. Slaymate, gas tank, another Evinrude. This thing's got reverse. That's pretty cool.
You should buy that, Hunter.
I should not buy that. Is this yours, Chris?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, geez, Chris is bringing out the junk.
Yeah? Everybody wants to see my junk.
Nice table full of swap stuff. Got some nose cones, and he's actually got them labeled what they are. That's pretty cool. What did Josh bring today? You selling this?
No.
No.
I hear you're a ski roll boy now.
Apparently I am. Yeah. Here we are with one of my favorite swappers, Swap Meet Bob.
Yeah, that's me.
I see you brought the usual assortment out today.
Check it out.
Everything. Did you bring your armchair? Bob used to bring a big recliner and sit on the front of his trailer for years and years. Oh, just a desk chair today, Bob. What's in the trailer? Well, I see you set it up with living quarters. Oh, that's that TXL you're telling me about. That's pretty sweet. Nice. Nice. Here's some show sleds up at the front of the show. They're not really show sleds. These belong to the promoters, so they're not entered in to win prizes or anything, but nice collection. Lots more swap meet stuff. Tons of swap meet stuff. We got more swap meet stuff over here. Suzuki Fury, more or less an Arctic LT gray. Always rumored to have more power because they had better twin pipes on them. What do you got? What sort of prize did you get, John?
Oh, kind of a
race ski?
yeah, racing ski. Looks like welded up maybe 20 years ago.
Booger welds?
Booger welds. Look at them.
Nice.
Yeah, they're booger welds.
Little race ski. Cool.
See if they'll work on the speedway.
Probably. All right, here's a 68 Mustang. I wonder if that's the same one we saw or if there's two at this show. Cool stuff. Got some winter wear here. Red Flake Scorpion hood. Mini bike stuff. The Canadian Goose for sale. Best offer. Is it a twin or a one? I can't tell with that shroud on. Probably a single cylinder. I got John all official here. He's got a freaking sound thing and a chain and a good lord.
The chain gang.
Part of the chain gang.
A couple of years ago, somebody said, they asked me, they said, that chain's not going to hold back a sled if it gets
Neither am I.
It's plastic.
That chain isn't going to hold back a sled, and I'm not going to hold back a sled.
It's going to hold the snow.
The twin sled.
We got pit crew with the jump start pack getting this EFI going. Next, they're going to pull out a starter motor from a jet airplane and hook it up to the clutch, I'm guessing. All right, folks. That's better. This is my buddy Famous Phil. And I think the thing Phil is famous for is loud snowmobiles. This guy sticking his head near the megaphone must be near suicidal.
It looks like we only got one megaphone, and then we got another 3-cylinder after this. for some wax coming out.
Nice. Was that a 650 RS, John? 650 SS.
That work don't stand a chance against this SRX.
What size twister is that? 440. 440 twister and a 440 SRX. All right. Even match.
Yep. I've ran that sled before, some of ours.
You guys going to fire any more up? No. All right, it's been a great day today. What an awesome show. I'm sitting here in the back of Dennis's truck with Valdi and Greg, as you can see. And it was a great show today. And we want to say thanks to Greg Pruitt and John Sina for putting that on. And everybody else, we want to say thanks for watching. Please hit subscribe. And we'll see you at the shows, the swaps, on the trails, wherever. Huge thanks to the patrons for their support of the channel. You guys are the best. And just looking around at vintage sleds on the trailer out there. Huge thanks to the patrons for your support of the channel. You guys are the best. For those that don't know, the patrons support us with a little donation on one of our 2 levels, and in return they get their names up here on the screen, as you can see, and they also get to watch all the videos early and ad-free. Patrons, we really appreciate you. Everybody else, please hit subscribe, and we'll see you on the trails.
See you on the trails. I'll see you again.